Welcome on the YouTube channel, The Retiree's Handbook. If you enjoy our content, leave a like on the video and subscribe to our channel. Okay, let's just dive right in. I know after weeks and weeks of uncertainty, there's a huge sigh of relief going around the country. The federal government shutdown is finally over. So today, we're going to cut through all the noise and explain exactly what this means for the benefits you really count on, your Social Security and your Medicare.
You know, for weeks, this was the big question just hanging in the air, right? And it created a ton of anxiety for millions of people. When you hear the government shutting down, it's not just some headline on the news. It's a real worry that hits you right at home. You were probably asking yourself, is my check gonna show up? Can I still go to my doctor? Well, let's get you some answers and hopefully put those worries to bed for good. And here it is, the big news. As of November 10th, 2025, the shutdown has officially ended. The Senate passed a new spending bill, and that clears the way for everything to get back up and running at full speed. This is a massive turning point, believe me. It ends a period of some really intense gridlock and just uncertainty. Now, you're probably hearing all this political jargon thrown around, so let's quickly break down the most important one, a continuing resolution. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like a temporary patch. It's not the final full-year budget, but it's a super important stopgap measure that gets the lights back on and funds the government for a little while. This gives lawmakers the breathing room they need to hash out a bigger plan without holding all these services hostage. So what does the next couple of months look like? Well, the bill passed the Senate on November 10th, and it's being fast-tracked to the House and then to the president's desk. But the really crucial date for you to know on this timeline is January 30th, 2026. That's the new deadline. And what that means is we have stability through the holidays and into the new year. It prevents another crisis right around the corner. All right, let's get to the real heart of it. What did this shutdown actually do to your benefits? I know the checks kept coming, but the story is a little more complicated than that. The truth is, while your benefit payments were safe, a lot of the critical services got slowed down to a crawl. So let's really break down that impact. So the number one reason your benefit payments were never really in jeopardy comes down to this really key difference in how things are funded. Social Security and Medicare fall under what's called mandatory spending. Their funding is literally baked into the law. It's automatic. It doesn't depend on the yearly budget fights in Congress. The shutdown stalled the annual budget, which is the money that pays for things like staff salaries and day-to-day operations. And that is what created the huge bottleneck for services, even while the checks themselves kept flowing. For anyone getting Social Security or SSI, this probably created a really frustrating situation. The great news? Your monthly payments, that financial lifeline, were completely unaffected. But trying to get literally anything else done? That was a whole different story. Call center wait times just exploded, leaving urgent questions unanswered. New applications were just frozen, and critical things like appeal hearings or even just getting a simple verification letter for housing, they were all seriously delayed. Those services are now just starting that slow climb back to normal. And, you know, we see a very similar picture over on the Medicare side. Most importantly, your access to care was protected. You could still go to your doctor, you could still fill your prescriptions, you could go to the hospital. But the giant administrative machine that makes all of that run smoothly, it got completely jammed up. So if you were trying to enroll for the first time, or maybe sort out a complicated billing problem, or even just get a replacement card, you probably hit a brick wall of delays. Now, federal employees are finally back, and they're starting to tackle that mountain of paperwork. And this wave of relief, it actually extends even further than you might think. This reopening is also absolutely critical for our federal retirees, making sure their annuities are secure. It's huge news for our veterans, whose disability claims and appeals can finally start moving forward again. And it means other vital support systems that people rely on, like heating assistance and food benefits, will also get back to normal. Okay, so that's the lay of the land of what just happened. Now, let's talk about what you can do. The gears of government are finally turning again, and there are a few simple, practical things you can do to make sure you're all set during this reopening phase. Here is a pretty simple but effective little action plan for you. First, just for your own peace of mind, go ahead and double-check your bank account or your mailbox to confirm that your last payment arrived right on schedule. Second, if you have anything pending, a new application, an appeal, any kind of paperwork, now's the time to start checking its status online. You should start to see some movement there pretty soon. And finally, and I know this is the hardest part, just try to be patient. These agencies are facing a monumental backlog, and it is going to take them some time to dig out. The most important thing to remember is that everything is moving in the right direction. That frustration of getting a busy signal over and over when you call, or seeing your application status just frozen for weeks, that should finally start to ease up.
The engine is restarting, and all those dedicated staff members are back at their desks working hard to get caught up. So let's just pull back for a second and look at the big picture here. For millions and millions of Americans, this whole ordeal wasn't just another news story. It was an emotional roller coaster, right? It was a stressful ride from deep worry to maybe a little cautious optimism, and now, finally, to a real, tangible sense of relief. And in the end, it all just comes down to this. This isn't really about politics or budgets. For retirees, for veterans, for families on a fixed income, it's about having the stability you need to plan your life. It's that confidence that the systems you've paid into, the ones you depend on, are secure. It's just being able to finally take a deep breath, knowing your lifeline is safe. It is simply peace of mind. So the immediate danger has passed, and that is definitely worth celebrating. But this temporary fix leaves us all with a much bigger, much more important question. This close call was a really stark reminder of how vulnerable these essential services can be to political gridlock. So the final thought we're left with is this: how do we protect these vital programs and the millions of people who rely on them from becoming bargaining chips in the future? If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a like.
Hello there. Are you currently navigating the complexities of retirement, or perhaps rapidly approaching that significant life milestone? The Retiree's Handbook is your dedicated YouTube guide for all retirement and pension news right here in the United States. It's crucial to stay informed about your financial future. We cover understanding pension benefits and maximizing your Social Security, ensuring you have the knowledge you need. Our channel provides actionable financial tips for retirees, helping you confidently make the most of your golden years. Don't miss vital information that impacts your peace of mind. Join our growing community today. Thank you for watching. Your financial security and retirement is incredibly important, and we're here to help you every step. Please subscribe to the Retiree's Handbook channel to never miss our latest updates and valuable insights. Join our community for continuous support, future pension news, and helpful resources to empower your retirement journey.